Okay, thanks, Verity. Cheers, Geth. I'll sort of kick off then with fitness questions. How are Josh Adams, Tom Francis, and Owen Watkin, and have they been able to take a full part in training?
All three have gone through the concussion protocols, returned to play, and all three are expected to be training today and fit for Friday's game.
Which, goes without saying, huge boost for yourselves as a coaching team.
We always worried when they got to go through the protocol because it's quite a stringent process. We've lost people in the past due to that, and it's unfortunate, but we got to react to it. It's a good boost that we got all three available. Luckily, obviously, it comes on the back of a fallow week where time is on our side a little bit.
One person you've added is Josh Navidi. Obviously, he brings a wealth of experience. And how important, if selected to start or on the bench, is his physicality going to be?
Yeah, it's pleasing for us to see him come through the game on Friday night for Cardiff. And he's done it before, coming back on the back of not many games. So, he's obviously still a little bit ring rusty, but we got confidence that his experience and his physicality as a player will come back pretty quickly. And he's trained well already this week. And obviously he'll be looking forward to see what selection is.
And that physicality, Gethin, will be essential, especially at the breakdown against a formidable French side that we've seen already.
Yeah, they got some big forwards, some big players, and some dangerous players as well. So it's going to be a key message this week. We're going to have to step up physically, and we're going to have to meet them face to face. It's going to be a big test of us, bigger test physically than the three we've probably faced. That's taking nothing away from what we have faced. It's just a different animal, a different type of physical, and where they're going to come with their threats.
How difficult a task is it defensively against France, given we've seen how clinical they've been in the tournament so far, and how clinical they are from turnover ball?
Yeah, it's been mentioned. They scored a lot of tries off turnovers. I think our reactions have to be quick. I think, a big part of it is well playing in the right areas and not playing too much rugby in our own half. They're a team who, they've got a good system defensively, and when they do turn the ball over, they do try to shift quite a bit to get some tries, and they've been quite successful with it. Hopefully we cut down the amount of times they get a chance to do that. And if they do it, our reactions have to be very quick.
It seems as though pieces are coming into place in terms of French rugby. They've got an abundance of talent, obviously. They're marrying things well on and off the pitch. They've brought Sean in, someone well. Is this the best French setup you've seen in your playing and coaching career so far?
Oh, look, they've been a top team for a while. I suppose getting them to click is probably the biggest worry of all teams, because they've got such a big player base. They got such financial clout in terms of their league and what they're bringing through in terms of athletes. So, a strong France is obviously not good news for some of the other international teams, including ourselves. But we'll do our homework, look at where we can attack them and where we can impose our game plan on them. Everything this week isn't just about them. It's about us being confident in our ability and basically trying to bounce back from a loss. There's a lot of hurt after the England game that we gave them that early start. And we'll be looking to put a lot of that stuff right that come this weekend. We can't lose focus on where we're going as a group.
Cheers, guys. Appreciate it.
Thanks.
Okay, coming to Beth next.
Hi, Gethin. Hope you're well. Sorry, just to go back on the Thomas Francis
HIA issue. Obviously, we didn't have a coach last week, so sorry, it's falling on you, this question. Obviously, there was quite a bit of talk about the reviewing of the HIA, and there was going to be a review on how that went. I'm just wondering whether that review's been done and if there's been any feedback for you guys on that.
I think the review is still being taken out. I don't think it's been finished yet, so we'll wait to see what comes of that. I personally didn't see it. I was more concerned about the poor defence before it happened. But live, I didn't see it. I've seen it after. But yeah, the people in charge and the medical people will have gone through all that, and I'm sure the review will see what comes of it.
One last question, I promise, on this. But if the review comes out and says, well, he shouldn't have played on, and there's a consequence to maybe him, is that sensible? Maybe playing him if that review is still ongoing? I don't know. You tell me, because you know more about this than I do.
Oh, look, the HIA process has been in place for a long time now, and players, staff, we all abide by it. So we've got to back what's happened there. If anything else comes out of it, then it comes out of it. But the player's passed all the protocols. He's done his gradual, like I said earlier, done his gradual return to play, ticked off all his contact boxes, and he's available for selection.
Awesome. Thank you for answering that. Let's get back to Friday then. Obviously, a big match, not just for the team but the fans. It's a Friday night match against the French. How much are you looking forward to being part of that night as well?
Yeah, it's a big game for us. I think France have put some good performances together, so they're probably favourites going into it after what's come before. But we'll build on being at home. We'll get a bit from the atmosphere. We'll build up the boys this week, and it's a big game for us to win this, and then hopefully go on the week after. That'll make 3 out of 5. So from having 2 tough away games, which we probably haven't performed as we would have wanted to, I think we got to take some belief into going into home games against what we know is going to be, like I said earlier, a physical quality team that we can test ourselves. We've come close the last twice we played them, and probably haven't quite got over the line. So it'll be a big challenge for us this weekend mentally.
We spoke to a couple of players last week. They saying how much they enjoy their ball in hand running rugby. But is there a balance with getting that right, but also with your job being defensively ruthless as well?
Oh, look, it does wind me up there when some of the players go in the press and say, "Oh, I like to play a running style of rugby." All this, I don't want to hear that. I want to hear them telling you all that they like to defend, they like to hit people, they like to smash people in the contact area, they like to be physical. That's what I want to hear from them. So, if I do see someone who said some comments like that, I will pick them up on it and say, right, well, where's the other side of the game? We're a group of coaches. We all work together. We all got the same common goal. But there is times when I suppose you want some of the players. You obviously got some players who do favour that area of the game, but you want more from some in that area as well.
So in future, I need to ask, instead about running rugby, I need to be asking them more about getting their head in where it hurts. Do I?
Oh, don't get me wrong. If we score a try and go 70 metres, I'm cheering as well. But the nitty gritty stuff is, especially international rugby, a lot. We talk about it a lot. All the nitty gritty basic stuff is the stuff that wins you games. The gloss on top that comes later, unless you're doing the nitty gritty right first and getting all your basic details right. You don't tend to succeed.
Just last question from me, in terms of the nitty gritty and your part of it, how far are we from your perfection of where Wales should be? We're always striving for more. I think we still got a long way to go. I think I'm starting to see some of the benefits of some of the stuff we're doing. A lot of the group, I'd like to think, has been in for quite a few campaigns now. In terms of experience and actual time on field, probably not as much with some of the boys as you would have hoped. So those boys growing forward, I think that's a message for them even this week. The more times you play, the more times you get used to the speed and the thinking. It's not all about just blunt attitude. It needs to be more thinking at this level. And I think I'm getting it slowly, but like I said, there's still a long way to go with this group, because it is going to change a little bit. We come to the World Cup, there's probably
quite a few older players there, and looking past that, there's probably some of these boys who are in now who haven't long been in the squad who are going to have to step up then.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Cheers. Appreciate it.
Okay, we've got time for one question, Hamish, one Simon Thomas, and then we'll move to the embargoed section. Hamish,
just one anyway, Gethin. I was just Sean Edwards. I'm just wondering how much your defence coach career that you take from him. Would a Master Against Apprentice be a fair sort of headline to put on it, or is there more to it?
Look, I've been coaching for a long time. I'd like to think I'd be where he is now in 10, 15 years. He's been involved in a lot of environments. He's been involved in a lot of tough international games where he's prepared a team, and you can see his imprint coming through. It's definitely a lot of stuff that I've soaked up off him over the years, but also like to think that there's other stuff I add to it as well in terms of being myself and being individual. But you can't take away from what Sean's done, and he continues to be successful with it. I suppose just concentrate on myself this week and building on what we've, like I just talked about then, about what we've been building and how we can improve in certain areas from the England game and the two before it.
Okay, thanks.
I get just one quick one in this section, if that's okay. Wayne made it pretty clear after the England game that you were quite disappointed that the England try was allowed. You felt there was illegality there. Have you had any feedback at all from Six Nations or from the referees department about whether there should have been an offence given there?
Oh, look, there's a process always. I think there's definitely communication in terms of after the game in certain areas. It's gone now. There's nothing you can do about it. Is it? What is it? It's a nudge in the line out. I think I know from playing the game. You do some stuff, you get away with some stuff you don't. Whether it's legal or whether it's illegal, as a coaching group, you can't dwell on stuff like that. Go move on to the next game.
Cheers, mate. Thank you.